All right, guys, welcome back to Grit Gym. Late start to the Grit Gym Live. We had a couple technical difficulties with Be Live, but Jen Kerkado is here, and we're really excited to have you on. It's mostly going to be talking about how to get out of your own way and the pitfalls and common mistakes that people use and the way to get out of them, right, Jen? And you're out in Massachusetts, right?
Yes, I am. Plymouth, Mass.
How's the weather out there right now?
It's really humid today. It's foggy and hot.
Yeah, it's like perfect here. So we don't get to say that at all times of the year. And you guys get to say that pretty often. So I'm going to use it right now. But so tell us a little bit about your business, how you got started in it. I know you're an entrepreneur, right? And you've gone into this, like nobody gets into what you get into, what you do without a huge heart and a lot of guts. So how'd you get started?
Oh, well, thank you for that. I got started because a long time ago when I lived in California, when I was about 22, I was living with a life coach, a writer turned life coach, which is kind of what got me intrigued about coaching in general. And then at the time when I lived in California, which things kind of happen there a lot faster than they take longer to make their way to Cape Cod, which is where I'm from. So when I moved back, when I got married, which was back to Cape Cod, I was in sales, and I always kind of had in the back of my head that I wanted to start my own business at some point and get into coaching. But I had fear that people wouldn't be receptive to it because it was kind of an unknown industry here. Yeah. And after a while, I was feeling unfulfilled myself in sales jobs where I had success, but I just didn't wake up and feel like that purpose was big enough anymore. I decided to take a leap of faith and just show up for myself and try something that I thought I knew would bring me fulfillment. And so I really thought it was cool when I was doing my research of what institute online to get certified. I found coaching, which I'd never heard of. And so I thought, I wasn't tell at that time myself. So I thought, why not start with myself? We have a saying in coaching where you can only take someone as far as you're willing to go yourself. And so that's kind of how I got started.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree with that more about that. Like, I like the quote that a leader has muddy boots.
I've never
like personally, like if you're not willing to take on your demons and your turmoil and confront your problems, then like what business do you have telling anybody anything about anything else? Like it's like the online guru right now that has never really done anything. It's like the 20-year-old Instagram person that is trying to tell you how to run your business or how to run your life, and it's like, well, you've never done anything. You're 20 years old. Like, come on. Yeah, it's not like I don't want to support you and you going out and trying to make something in your life and trying to help people, but at the same time, like you gotta put some work in here first, right? So you gotta put you first and go first. But so, what are some of the priorities that you find that are like common? I don't know, like three big things that everybody needs to have in their life, like three foundational principles. Or maybe even just one. What are some common things that you notice that almost everybody could benefit by employing?
Meditation.
I completely agree. Love that.
Nutrition and movement.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what we go through. When it comes to health, we talk about exercise, mindset, nutrition, recovery as like the four pillars or the four corners of what you need for a healthy body and a healthy life. How do you do your meditation? Because everybody's a little bit different on this, and a lot of people almost connect it up with almost like an idolatry sort of thing, where it's like, no, if I meditate, I'm almost sinning. It's like almost like they put a religious connection with it. So how do you explain it? What do you do for your meditation?
Okay, so a few years, or a while ago, actually, about 8 years, my husband and I got certified to do TM, Transcendental Meditation.
Yeah.
So I practice that. However, that's an investment, and not everyone wants to go that route. And so when I'm working with clients, I mention that I got certified, but I'm not a walkie-talkie selling TM coach. It is just one of the tools in my tool set. I really just want people to meditate. And today, there's so much amazing knowledge and information on YouTube or on, online in general. So just yesterday, I actually was just meeting my business cards. He has been meditating. Me a really cool video to check out, and it's called the No Bullshit to Meditation. It's a 35-minute, straightforward, just like the title says, no BS. It's the Sky Leo. And I already passed it along to a client that has been trying different types of free apps on your phone, and I just thought his description was perfect. But I basically just put some different free options of ways that you can teach yourself, because it's the simplest thing you can do. It's free, and you don't need to be anywhere. You can be on a plane, a train, you can be in your office. So you just need to quiet yourself, which a lot of people don't think is possible, but it is. Yeah,
I always find that interesting about meditation, that people will buy these and nothing wrong. I am a big believer in education, hiring coaches, and furthering your knowledge. But at the same time, really meditation, you sit in a chair and breathe in and out of your nose really deep into your stomach. Like really try to push that air down. That's about the length of it. You could just stop. It's like the most simple thing that you can possibly do, and it happens to be really easy too. It's just we complicate the shit out of it, right? Yeah.
True. And when I start working with clients, and the entire time I'm working with them, I actually implement a practice at the very beginning of every call, because I'm catching people just leaving work, or their kids threw up on the floor, and they're distracted. Needless to say. And I want to ground them right away. And so I do a technique called 5-5-7. And that's a really good start to have as an introduction to meditation, because it's just a breathing technique. But it's amazing what happens in doing that breathing technique for just 5 minutes. So I got them through it. They're breathing in for 5, and then they hold for 5, and then they exhale for 7. Yeah. And then after talking them through that 3 times, I let them continue while I kind of walk them through. I'm talking for a few minutes. And it's amazing how after just 3 minutes that they're like, oh my gosh. And it also opens up to what we really want to talk about, so we're not wasting time.
Well, yeah, because otherwise you'd spend the 15 minutes just trying to get to what you wanted to talk about. Instead, you can just bust it straight down. That's what I do because of what I do, just the nature of my job. I have to be really high energy all the time. So I'm kind of wound up when I come home. But when I come home and I want to have dinner with my significant other, I want to be kind of like a little bit mellowed out, just ready to calm down, ready to be with her, not be in work mode, but be in like the mode of being with her. So that's one thing I'll do is I'll go out for 5 minutes. And instead of that taking me 2 hours to come down, or 1 hour to come down from that work mode, it takes me 5 minutes. So just meditation makes everything squelch into such a, people say, I don't have time to do that. You don't have time not to do that at the same, is my perspective.
The saying that I love that is, try saying the next time you want to say, I don't have time for that. This isn't a priority in my life right now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I like to say, well, you have clothes on right now, right? And people are like, what are you talking about? Yeah, of course I have clothes on. Well, that's because you made it a priority. You would never walk out of your house. Well, maybe you would. But most people wouldn't walk out of their house, wouldn't think of walking out of their house without brushing their teeth and putting on clothes. That you made it a priority. No matter how late you were, you threw on clothes and you brushed your teeth. Once you make everything else in your life that priority, that meditation or eating breakfast or whatever it happens to be, you're probably going to be more bound to do it, right?
Exactly.
Well, tell me about the Fall Back in Love with Your Life. Or is that what did I say that right? Is that the title of it? All right, so this is your new thing. Tell me about this. Sounds really cool. I love the title. Because I think that's what everybody needs more of. I think everybody needs to be more selfish with their own life, that they need to put themselves first, and that they need to really own in on loving who they are and where they are in their life, even if it's not the greatest moment in their life. It can be a snapshot. But anyway, tell me about this. How's it going to work? What are you doing? What do you talk about in it?
Okay, so it's a 6-week intensive, 15 people, 15 clients,
Cool.
Small group, like a more intimate setting. I think people enjoy that. And we are going to start with a sunset fireside intention ceremony at this beautiful beach that you can drive out on and stand with in Cape Cod. So we're going to have a fire, and we're going to launch these biodegradable intention lanterns. So the story behind that is, so
yeah, that'll be awesome.
What you want to manifest in your life during the next 6 weeks. And so it's just a really fun, different way of visualizing what it is that you want and really like putting it out to the universe and then doing it with a group. And it's just fun because everything's more fun with people. And when you are in a group and you all kind of realize, wow, like we all have these things that we want. Everybody wants something, right? And doing it as a group, I did it in August, and it was so powerful that I thought I need to put something out there right away. So that's how we're launching it. And then it includes 2 90-minute private coaching sessions with me. It also includes a private Facebook group page where they'll have weekly updates. We'll go over the reason why it's a private group page, so they can respond and kind of be each other's inspiration and kind of share, what's going on, what's working well. But I will be helping them I just want to read off this so I don't forget anything. It's going to be the introduction to meditation because that's so important to me. I think it just makes the game changer. And it's also going to be an introduction to nutrition for your body type because we're all so different. So I'm really big on not telling people, everybody do this because what works for one person is not going to work for someone else.
Yeah, you get yourself in a lot of trouble doing that. Or you get it's not responsible or appropriate to the person that you're working with. And what are we ultimately trying to do? We're trying to help people. And if you try to fight them on what they already, where they already are, it's no good, Yeah, completely agree.
Totally. And then also just a step-by-step guide for manifesting the thing or things that you are looking to attract into life. And then as a bonus, everyone is invited to my home in December for an afternoon where I will be demonstrating a week's worth of meal prep because that's something that I do.
Oh, neat. Yeah.
My husband days and people, I've got a lot of, requests to kind of come and watch me do that. So I'm just going to make it into a fun classroom setting.
No, that's fantastic. I think that's I think that's the monster of all nutritional things. That's the crown, that's the chair, that's the throne, that's the everything is preparing your meals ahead of time. It's silly not to. In the world that we live in today where everybody's trying to go so fast, it takes care of a time issue. It takes care of an overeating issue. It takes care of I don't have time issue. It makes you eat the things that you probably weren't going to eat. It stops you from eating the crap that you were going to eat. It's just so good, so easy, so simple. I think everybody complicates it to the point that it's kind of insane. I do it really simple. I do 5 salads, 5 sandwiches, Sunday, done. That's lunch for the whole week. So that's
perfect.
How what's that?
That's perfect. I don't do a lot of bread, but there's tons of mixed greens in my week. Yeah, I have salad every day.
Yeah, no, and it's not. I'm not using like Wonder Bread. I'm using like sprouted grains bread. So
bread.
I don't really have a problem with it. For me, my body type and how like my body's set up, bread's just fine. For somebody else, that might not work very well. So that's definitely a me thing. But I could also do 10 salads. That could be lunch if they're like hearty salads, so it just kind of depends. But anyway, sounds like a really cool thing. I know we got on this call a little late, so we're going to have to cut it at 15 minutes, but because what we always said we're going to be done by 1. But is there any other big words of wisdom, words of inspiration, or things that you want to put out to the world before we cut the call?
Oh man, pressure's on. I guess
On the spot.
Something that really spoke to me a while ago that kind of opened my eyes up to who I want to be and how I want to operate every day. And it was something that came to me through the process of the coach I was working with said, you need to create an anchor, something that's going to draw you back in when you feel distracted and you're going off here, right, when you want to be going straight. And that is something I have on my vision board right now. I have it next to my bed, and it's a girl sitting on a cliff, and she's overlooking the mountains and the oceans in the distance. And it says, what would you do if you were the bravest version of yourself?
Oh, nice.
And it made me emotional because it was like, I don't know, it just spoke to me. It's just one of those things. But I share that with all my clients, and we work on anchors because they're very important in our work. And I just think, you know, if you read something like that, find something that really makes you emotional and really hits a core and makes you jump out of bed in the morning and pushes you to realize that you got one life and you should be doing more.
Yeah, I completely agree. Yeah, or being more, or like not just. We were talking about this yesterday. Rachel and I were about like being in that comfort zone and how that's just, it's easy to stay there and it's content and it's easy and it's nice and everything, but you're not growing at all. And like if you're continuing to grow, she's about to start a business, so and she's really uncomfortable, and she's like, this is just so hard. I just don't want it to be hard like this forever. And it's like, it's hard because you're doing something new. It's hard because you're learning something new. It's hard because you're pushing forward. Like, it's a good thing that it's hard right now. You just got to keep on pushing until you have that solved. So like, I completely agree with you. You just to be the bravest version of you, what would you do? And that's probably an ever expanding I don't know what you call it, mindset maybe.
Yeah, and it's like kind of frustrating. It gets because it's like, wait a minute, I want to be the most bravest version of myself, and if I'm not doing that, then who am I?
Yeah, exactly. And what am I living? And it like, when this thing is all said and done, am I going to look back and be like, oh, I guess I should have done this and that? No, like, I want to be like, wow, I did a lot of stupid shit and I did a lot of really cool things, and I'm glad I did it. You know, I don't want to look back with regret for sure. But anyway, Jen, thanks for taking the time. I know that we had some technical difficulties up front, but I really appreciate you being here. Maybe we can have you back on again sometime for the full 30 minutes instead of just 15. But
I would love that. Sure. Thank you.
Maybe all the buttons on the website will work that time. But
yeah.
Anyway. But I hope the Fall Back in Love of Your Life thing goes really well. I would love to be there for the launch party. That thing sounds amazing. It sounds really cool.
Thank you.
All right. But thanks for being here. I really appreciate it. We're going off now. Guys, if you want to follow Jen, I'll put a link in the comments on the video, and you can click there. So thanks, Jen.
Have a great day. Thank you so much.